Today is January 29th, 2022. This is episode 180 of Maelstrom Radio. Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Gladys and Shitter. Welcome to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Quentin. It's Saturday.
It is. Good morning.
Morning. Well, afternoon.
Good afternoon. It is afternoon. So
it's technically the afternoon.
Yeah.
This is we're doing something new this year.
We are.
That way we could talk to more people, especially people across the pond. So with us today, a guest who is from across the pond, Arjuna Griever, fellow Team Whiskers member. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for being here. Thank you for being our first guest on a Saturday.
That's true.
It's all an experiment. There you go.
Yes, for almost now 6 years. This has all been an experiment.
You're not wrong.
And no one's paying us.
No, it's cost a lot more.
Yeah. If this was funded, it'd be different.
Everything costs too much.
It's also true. Also true. So let's get into what we've been doing this week, since we had a little bit of an extra day to talk about. So we did the first fight Savage. We completed it. We did that.
Thank you, Chili.
Thank you, Chili.
We have our deep pocket benefactor, Chili, who has donated some
payment
bits
for
us.
the
Thank
show. You. Thank you, Chili. We did it. We completed Pandemonium Asphodelos, the first Circle Savage, together with our raid group on Tuesday. All right, we did okay. We're gonna step into floor 2 tomorrow night. So
yeah.
I'm excited to see Sewer Monster, because I've already been told by a few people that stepped in there like oof. So,
yeah, I'm waiting for it.
So
I like the arena. I like the arena of the second boss. It's different.
It is different. I do like it as well.
It's neat, but thank you, Tibian.
Aw.
I was gonna say Cass. Tibian gifted a sub to Cass. Thank you.
Awesome.
And a hype train is close.
And the hype train is close. 4 minutes until a hype train. Let's see if it gets to the station.
Saturday hype train. All right, so we've also all of us, including producer Susan Sprinkle, have been playing Wordle.
Yeah,
that's about the extent of our extreme gaming this week. Although, Tibian says it's because he's not tired nor drunk and we're live. That's put that into an Apple review. That sounds great.
Go on Apple. You can review us.
Susan decided to kick off the train.
It's spoken
you,
like a true American. Oh, it's true British. There you go. Just not drunk yet.
No.
I was saying something. Oh yeah. Speaking of, we are going to. We played Pummel Party last night.
We did play Pummel Party last night. We did. So part of having episodes on Saturday means we can do game nights with everybody that hangs out with us and watches our show live. So we did that. We did Pummel Party last night. And I know that's a game that we kind of asked people to, like, if you're willing to buy into it, check it out. Because it's like Mario Party. Tibian joined us. Tibian got the permission.
Hey, Moogle go round. Thank you for the raid. Welcome everyone in.
Appreciate it.
How is everything going over there?
Yeah, congrats on your clear, Paul. Paul cleared Sewer Monster. So
congrats.
Yeah. So Paul's moving up to Bird. Up to
moved
Bird.
out of the sewers.
Yeah. So moving out of the sewers, heading towards the light.
I would rather move into the sewers than play with that bird. That bird frightens me.
Find out sooner or later.
That bird I'm not a fan of, even just in the normal version.
Yep, nope.
So-
Yeah, there's so much orange.
Yeah,
It hits so hard. Hits so hard. Being a tank, I'm just like, come on.
yeah.
And when I've got loads of when there's 2 sages in the party, I'm just like, right, okay, yeah, I'm ready to die.
Does it really hit that hard though? Because I've had to tank the ads.
Ads are fine. I just feel like sometimes when the ads come along, I'm like, right, is the other tank gonna aggro the same one as me, and then we're gonna kind of like be like merry-go-round, sort of like moving them around in the correct way that you can, or like some of them times they get like really, really close, and you're just like, could you just move it just a little bit? No, it's dead.
Yeah. As a DPS, I do the same thing. I'm like sitting there like, am I going to be taking this, or are they going to like properly split? It's a mess.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not excited to see the savage version of that.
It's
By the time you take it, the birds are already dead. You're like, okay, right,
Yeah.
okay. Good luck, everyone.
So we also I fulfilled my agreement. There were 2 Lalafell streams this week, so that has been fulfilled. If you missed those, they're still watchable. You can go watch them. And I just
You probably need to put those out to YouTube for posterity.
I just don't like being a Lalafell, and it has nothing to do with Lalafells. There's something about So I always had this thing with MMOs, and maybe I know I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that connect with the character they play, and some people don't. Some people can just play whatever. I do. I think it helps me play the MMO. I have such a disconnect with the Lalafell character. Like I did not feel it was my character, so I did not enjoy my play time.
You've got to look at the character. That's you're going to be spending hours looking at the character. Why would you be wanting to look at that?
because I lost a bet. But guess what? After years of Chili not flying in game, Chili can now fly in Final Fantasy 14. So possibly I think one of us may suffered more than the other, because I think Chili still does not like flying, and that's something he'll always have. Where I can change back. I mean,
at least for 2 more years.
Unless he deletes that character and then creates a new character and just jumps it up, pays to boost the levels, and he's like, "Nah, I don't have." Well, no, that still unlocks flying, so stuck with it either way. No, Chili's like tempting.
You all have problems. So what have you been up to this week?
For myself, well,
Yes.
I mean, 14 is primarily it. Just going through data. At the moment, I'm actually leveling or trying to get everything to level 90. So slowly but gradually. I was wanting to go through things quickly with ENDWALKER release, but Q Savage kind of stopped that. Even though I kind of already booked 10 days off. So it's just like, right, wake up in the morning and then log in. And it's just like, oh, wow, 14 people. Nice. I'll take that. And then it's like, right, start doing MSQ. And then all of a sudden it's like, how did it get to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon? And then I've got to do my bit and pick the kids up. So there's me literally driving there. And I'm looking at my watch, 30 minutes, 30 minutes,
Yep.
30 minutes. And then I'm like getting more depressed and look at it and then pick up the kids. Literally foot on accelerator all the way back home, and then literally leg it into my study, and then all I can see on the screen is the ENDWALKER trailer. So I'm like, right,
yeah.
Let me just click on that queue now. Yeah, 4,000. All right, I'm just gonna go and make tea for everyone, I think. And 4 hours later, finally get in.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot better now though, which is great.
Where have they all gone? That's my question.
I think if I had a guess, a lot of people now have finished a 10 year long story, and now even if they, rather they're waiting for the next MSQ to pop up, or even then they might wait for the next expansion and just catch all the way up and start like a long story up to that point. If whatever we get next is rather the breadcrumbs to whatever the next expansion is going to be, or starting like maybe mini storylines until the next expansion, but start threading the plot points of what's going to start happening. So
yeah, I mean, it's not that bad now. Susan saying on Chaos, it's not that bad at all. I mean, I can probably log on because after this I'm going to like an in-game event, and probably the highest it will probably be is about 34, 45 maybe, give or take.
Yeah.
So, but it's I think lots of people, I mean, within the space of what, 2-3 days, loads of people seeing screenshots on Twitter saying everything's at 90. I'm just like, okay, yeah,
Great.
slow clap, well done. And then it's just like, right, someone's like, we'll see you in 6.1 for Housing Savage, or we'll see you at some other point, really, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you've done your deed.
I think a lot of it was like server improvements and stuff. Like they did fix a lot, so that helped bring a lot of stuff down, and helped with a lot of the queues. And then also a lot of people stopped logging in so often.
Chili says Monster Hunter and Pokemon, and I think it happened. That all happened before Monster Hunter and Pokemon got launched, though.
Because Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, those remakes, they came out when originally Endwalker was meant to originally come out. So people were there doing that. But I mean, I can't really think of any other sort of major A-class games that kind of came out really during Endwalker. I mean, it's not often you normally get like AAA rated games that come out literally just before Christmas. Most of the time they're out in sort of like October, November sort of time. So you've got the stock, the demand, and that. I mean, they even stopped selling 14. So, you know,
I think it also might be the people that like rotate out games a lot. Like, hey, I've been like, they wanted to make sure they got through, finished all the story, absorbed it, did all the like early rating content, not so much Savage, but the normals, and get through that part of the story. Because you can always go back and just kind of get a taste of for what it is, and then whenever you resub, go back and do the others. I think they're like, they might be waiting for something new, or they're going back to whatever games they played before. So like they might say, "Oh, I played this. I'm done. I'm good." Lost Ark is coming out in a few weeks, so that's something I know a lot of people are very excited for. You know, that's got a lot of content behind it because it's a South Korean game that MMO that's been out for 3 years now over across the, over in South Korea. So that's,
I think,
yeah. So it's got plenty of content there, and it's really well loved. Like it's almost like they're the game director is almost like Yoshi P does, like, like very revered, talks to the community, has like like their own versions of live letters and stuff like that. So people
they're learning.
Yes, shocking, right? And I think
leaf at a 14's book.
It's not in our news, but I know recently they just had like all the fan base send in like thank you letters and like stuff like that to the team, and he did like a special like showing off like all the letters and everything that people sent to everybody. Did like an hour stream talking to like saying like how happy he was to get like the package, and like, so it's very cool like to see more devs connecting with their communities that way, especially like the heads of the communities that way. It's like it's very like a different mindset than what we've seen before. So in other companies, companies
many of them are learning now after this year. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Well, some of them are just like, they're not learning, they've already done it, because it's just like, well, what, of course you listen to the people that play it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. We'll talk about some gaming news across the spectrum of MMOs. So ESO announced their new expansion this past Thursday, and it's called High Isle. It will be it's a part of like an archipelago of islands that have never been explored in the Elder Scrolls games before. Even in all the old games, the one thing I like about Elder Scrolls Online is that it all takes place 1,000 years before Morrowind and Skyrim. So it's cool that they could play around with stuff we've never seen in Elder Scrolls games. So I'm very interested. And also part of that is that they're adding a new card game to the game itself. And I like the concept for it. So the neat things about it is that let's say if I'm starting out and Quentin's like a high-end card player and he's got unlocked all the cards and I have not, what happens is if we play together, all of our deck, both of our decks get shuffled into one deck, and it's an even playing ground. So there's no, it's just luck of the draw at that point. So if I get one of his higher cards, I can use it versus him. So it's kind of a cool concept. And the island itself is very like old medieval, so they're saying it's very like based in like a lot of King Arthur like storylines and a lot of adventure and like, you know, romance and love with drag, like all the fun stuff you want in an Elder Scrolls medieval fantasy setting. So it's not end of the world stuff. It's more just adventuring and finding mysteries and taking up quests and intrigue and political
things.
Yeah, all the things that are good. So Final Fantasy 14 had some new battle system changes earlier this week. Paladins DPS did go up. We saw that in our raid for sure. Dark Knights are long forgotten again. Hopefully 6.1 will see a rework. I would hope. I think all Dark Knights are hoping for that at this point. Machinists,
we got nothing.
You got nothing. I mean, you're not doing bad damage. We got
a little bit that didn't do anything.
Accurate. You're not Dark Knights though. So.
Yeah, but at least you still serve a purpose in a group.
Well, barely.
Yeah.
Barely now. Barely now, because I saw Gunbreakers the other day, and Warriors got a buff. Warriors like, you know what? Hey, Tomahawk's not doing enough damage. Sprinkle some extra hit on that. Dancers but there's some good changes. Dancers got buffed. We could see that happening in our raid group as well.
They're listening, but still, they've got a little bit of work to do.
Slowly but surely. Yeah.
I need to pew more.
I would also like seeing White Mage get buffed. I think, and I don't know. I feel like their DPS is not great right now. I feel like their lilies aren't doing enough damage. It's not. So,
but they're lilies.
But true. You know what? Fair.
It's the blood lily.
It is the blood lily.
I guess it depends on how hard you throw a lily. Then, doesn't it?
I mean,
the blood lily is thorny.
Bulbasaur does pretty okay.
Bulbasaur has
determination for you. More determination.
Razor leaf.
More debt.
So, and shocking that there was an announcement this week. Blizzard is creating a new survival game, which is okay. That's pretty neat. Like I saw I follow a lot of like Blizzard devs.
There's a cliche there, I think, though. If it's
I mean, everybody is surviving Blizzard at this point, but the people working behind it, you know, they put it out there as a, you know, it was a passion project, and that's what excites me. I think about it is not so much that it's Blizzard working on it, but it's people that are passionate about trying something new. And I think that's something, you know, the last time something new came out of Blizzard was Overwatch, and that was a pretty big hit.
I thought they've released more stuff since then.
No,
like Heroes of the Storm or
Overwatch was
Hearthstone.
Overwatch came out.
Was like 2016.
That was like their last big thing because Hearthstone came out
earlier than that.
They've really getting the blood out of the stone on that one.
Yeah, they really have.
And we're still waiting for 2, aren't we? If that ever happens.
Yeah, it was 2016.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a lot longer.
And Susan says, but aren't they looking for employees? Yes, but they already have team members already like starting to work on it. So they're looking to fill out the team to work on it. So I'd be interested to see where it goes. Of course, we know that Microsoft had already purchased Blizzard or purchasing Blizzard at this point. So we'll see what happens. But it's cool to see that they're announcing something new. But meanwhile, also in Blizzard world, Activision Blizzard refused to voluntarily recognize a union set up by a group. Now, this wasn't a Blizzard union. This was for Ravensoft games, specifically their quality assurance or QA department. Unfortunately, what's happening is that Activision, because Ravensoft is primarily under Activision, not so much the Blizzard side of things, they are going through trying to separate all the people on the quality assurance team and putting them on separate teams and saying, hey, you're now going to have to work on these teams, and if you can't gel well with them, adios. So if you can't have a union of people working together, it's not great. So there's a lot more going on to it. They're of course trying to send out letters why unionizing is bad. So unfortunately, unions are good, and especially in the creative space and the space of video games, I'm all for it. So I think that the folks working at Activision Blizzard should be pushing for unions. So just another year and a half for Bobby. That's all I gotta say. Just that's like there should be like a website or like a Twitter or a Twitter page that says the countdown begins. He's on his way out. He's gonna collect a check, of course, but he's gone. So
it's only a matter of time.
Slowly but sure. Slowly but sure.
That's how they do it.
Just can't.
They have to be dragged out by that point.
Just well, Susan's like, how can you possibly spend it at that unionization is bad? The companies don't want unions because they're gonna have to listen to their demands, and they can easily go on strike, and they don't like that. So, oh no, okay, no, yeah, Tibby, you are Susan now. So congratulations. Flicks hair. Hi, I'm Tib. Oh boy. Great, it's Freaky Friday. And our friends over at Moogron Radio had an episode this week with fellow Final Fantasy 14 content creator Mr. Happy. So they talked about rating. Well, it was the whole episode about rating, and from my understanding, 2% was rating, 98% with it was everything else. So I would go listen to that episode and find out.
As moving around tends to be.
Then they say, though, the percentage of people that actually clear majority of raids is almost within sort of like single digits.
That sounds right.
It's not very high. I don't think many people do. So it's one of those things. Same with Ultimate as well.
Is it not while it's current content, at least?
No.
When it becomes older content and it's easier to do, a lot more people, I think, clear it. But
yeah. Well, some people now, I mean, they go in unsynced with some of the Stormblood ones and just go as warrior and then just try and clear it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the producer note?
Yeah.
Would you like to read the producer note?
I think we can skip that for now.
Okay.
So unless I heard there was also an ESO announcement. Did you have any thoughts on that, or
me?
Yeah. You're the one that knows about ESO in the team.
So yeah, the
water.
Well,
yes. We already talked about it.
We did talk about it. I did talk a little bit about it. I mean, do you want like my personal opinion on it? Like I'm excited. Like
I must have just missed when you talked about it earlier. Then because
you might have. You might have blanked out for a second. It's okay.
I definitely just blanked out for a good minute.
It's Saturday. It's a weird day. It's
not the California heat for him though. That's for sure.
No, it's only like 19 out.
I'm excited to see them go back 18. To, like I said, adding a new card game, and they're adding 2 new followers. I guess they're called followers, but they're assistants. They kind of help you out in the field, and they're 2 new sorta. But you can actually, they have their own trees and stuff like that for their skills.
Chocobos.
Sorta. Yeah, kind of like chocobos. Except they actually have like voice acting and like you can actually upset them and they'll run away. They will like some of them are like one of them in the last expansion was liked when you stole things, but the other one did not. So if you picked that one and you stole something in front of it, they would not help you and run away. So unlike your chocobo,
the chocobo, you do anything in front of it.
The chocobo is like, we doing crimes? Quit.
Start killing other chocobos. Like, all right, I'm bored.
Quit. Quest for crimes.
Susan, that needs to be on the title.
Card game be as good as Triple Triad though?
I don't. Well, I think there's some people of opinion that Triple Triad's not that great of a card game.
Come on, that is the best.
I mean, I like it as
Mahjong.
Well, that's different altogether. I don't know. They've had different card games within the Elder Scrolls world, but this is a specific one created for it. To me, it's a little like Gwent, like you have to actually play it in the taverns across Tamriel, and you can play other players, and there's a storyline attached to it. So like, there's actually it has its own storyline, so you can actually go on like a little storyline quest and go across the taverns and play cards. And
this is definitely gonna be a chilly thing.
Oh, for sure. Chili's gonna be streaming. Chili plays ESO, but only the children card game part of it.
Only the card games.
only card games. only card game. Like, you'll never see any other part of that game, but only card games. And I that's gonna be his stream titles. Level 1 pro card player in ESO. He'll never. He might have to level, I think, to get to certain places, and that might bum him out.
Let's get someone to power level him or pay to take him somewhere.
That
content's content.
That's true. Chili's throwing out money. He's like in the middle of town. It's like, we'll pay for travel. Just like
50 gold.
That'll secure the itch in Final Fantasy. Now he doesn't have to pay people in Final Fantasy, so now you can. It's true. Shanty's true. ESO does scale to your level. That's true. But there are certain areas you need to like quest through to unlock certain things. So I wonder if he won't be able to do that part of it. So we'll see. I actually cannot wait to see that. Well, with all that said, let's get into finding about Arjuna Griever, our guest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Welcome again.
Yeah, welcome again.
Thank you. It's nice to say I've never done anything like this before.
Never?
No, never been on any sort of show or anything really like that. I said I have done one episode with Meoni on Tea Time, and even that was quite nervous. So, I think it's because I just don't like the sound of my voice. I hate it.
It's one of those things when you do podcasting enough, like eventually, like you might not hate it, but you'll adjust to it. And after, are we at 5 years? Or are we going on 6 yet?
We're at 6 in June.
Almost. After 5.5 years, I'm getting used to hearing my voice all the time. But if I have to hear it recorded, no. Nope. I think hear myself talking, but I don't want to listen to it when it's in an episode already.
See, it happened to me a long time ago. You know, I think it must have been around about 8 or 9, and it was when Home Alone, I think it was Home Alone 2, where he has that recording cassette thing.
The Talk Boy? Yeah.
Talk Boy, there you go, the Talk Boy. And I was like, I want one of those. I got one. I think it was either birthday or Christmas, and I got it. And I just spoke into it, was chatting away. Obviously, you know, this is a squeaky version of me, not a broken voice version of me. And I played it back, and I was just like, that is terrible. I sound like that. People have to hear me. I was just like, see you later, Talk Boy. And it literally wasn't used afterwards.
To be fair, it's probably the Talk Boy's fault.
Yeah,
good
I
old
can definitely see that.
Yeah, it's like late 90s, you know, hardware, like cheap microphone from a children's toy company, like, and you're like recording into it, you just sound like you're like
that tinny and
like you sound like you're like under a mattress in a duffel bag. You're like,
but the thing is that now I listen when they say like, oh, you should listen to your streams back and all this other stuff, and like I'm like, right, okay, I'm gonna psych myself up. It takes about a week to do that. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna devote this time to do that. And then the next minute I was like, right, start playing. And then the second I say, hey, welcome to to the stream and everything, I'm like, nope, we're done. I just don't like it.
I mean, I think the funniest thing ever is that like our intro and outro for this show are pre-recorded, and Peter did the intro and I did the outro, and Peter did whatever vocal magic, so it doesn't really sound like me. It's great. I laugh every time it plays.
Maybe I just need to get a mixer and just change it.
There you go.
There, that's the trick.
Vocal training.
Another expense.
Or
just find one online for free. This is it'll auto tune. There you go, auto tune.
Actually, if you go the lovely new Wave 3, no, not a sponsor, but the Wave 3's their new update allows you to implement all that stuff now.
You have to buy a microphone.
You still have to buy a microphone, but it's technically still cheaper than buying a mixer.
Susan says, or hire Maelstrom Radio to do your voiceovers. And by that, she means Peter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Please don't hire me to do your voiceover.
Yeah.
I mean, I just used my headset voice piece to kind of do it for a little while. And then I was just like, right, I might need to start. If I'm going to do this a bit more, maybe because being on Twitch, you kind of look at stuff and go on YouTube, and YouTube's like, hey, do you want to sound good when you stream and all this sort of stuff? It's like, okay, well, I'll click on that. It's had quite a number of views, and then it's just like, well, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. And it's just like, right, okay. So Amazon's ratings are pretty much your next best friend if they've not been paid for. So then I was just looking through it. I mean, especially being, dad, kids, the second you get paid, and it's gone. So it's that's how it always is. So I was like, right, okay, I'm going to have a look and see what there is. And then just looking on Amazon and seeing like within the price range. And yeah, I mean, I picked this one up for like 30 quid. I don't think people have complained yet.
No, sounds pretty good.
But yeah, so it's just a bit of tweaking, bit of this and that. But I mean, I'd love to just kind of those little things, but they slowly rack up.
There are options out there. I mean, we could talk after show. There are options out there to adjust that like post processing live. So we used to do it here. So before these kits.
Yeah.
I apologize for my voice.
You are absolutely fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Thank you. Okay.
So I know like you're part of Team Whiskers and whatnot, all of that, but I don't think most of our like people that listen to us know who you are, particularly or like what you stream or what you do. Like, do you want to give a little bit of background about?
I can give history.
Yeah, sure.
Looked at Twitch a while back. I think it was Mr. Happy when I was playing 14 and everything, and I was like, this would be fun to do, but obviously just wasn't able to do it. Back then, your PlayStation 4 could do it, but it just wasn't something to kind of look presentable or anything at all like that. But I just made a Twitch user, and I was just like, well, I like Square Enix games. I like Mr. Happy, watching Mr. Happy, so I was just like, well, Mr. Squex. So I just put that in, and that was my Twitch user. So I just kind of had that when I'd view and everything. And it wasn't really till, when was it? About 2017, I treated myself and built a PC. Because originally I was just playing on the PlayStation 4. I killed my PlayStation 3 playing 14 with the yellow light of death. So I was just like, and then at that point you had the free upgrade to the PlayStation 4 version. I was just like, right, it's pretty much a month before my birthday, so I'll treat myself. But when
timing.
Yeah, I know it was brilliant. But when I built this PC, I still used the controller. I tried to do keyboard and mouse, but it just didn't work. The controller was in me too much for that, I think. And then when was it? Coming up to 2000 I think it was 2018. I kind of thought to myself, you know what? I'll give it a try. Give it a try. So a friend of mine that did graphic design, I had an idea in my head, and I just said to him, look, this is the name. This is the idea of the kind of logo. So we'll go with that. And I think it was around about, must have been summertime of 2018, I started doing some streams. And they were just, most of them were RPGs. So I did, I think my first playthrough on there was Kingdom Hearts 1.
Ooh.
And then I moved on to Kingdom Hearts 2. And then started playing. I still, kind of in between that, I would play 14 because I got a capture card, so I was able to do the Kingdom Hearts as well. And then did Final Fantasy 9, I think it was, and just those little things. And then by the end of 2000, I think it was about October, November of 2018, I just literally just went. I was almost hit 100 followers, and
Nice.
but I just went complete cold. So I think it was primarily because of work. I did start streaming with my with webcam as well. I did have everything set up, so it was all there. A little bit more of a pristine face back then as well. So, and yeah, just all of 2019, nothing. And when I look back at it, I kind of thought stuff. I really could have done well in 2019 because if I'd continued with it all, I actually went over to Japan in 2019, so I could have done sort of like some live streams there for people and follow it, and all, ideas were always there. I kind of felt like I missed out. I had a Discord with people that were on there that we still chatted and did things, and they were always saying, when you coming back, when you coming back. And then when was it? I think for some it's when the pandemic kind of took a hit, and people were in homes, and I started watching Twitch a bit more. And the other big thing that was kind of in at the time was lots of I watch a couple of big anime YouTubers on YouTube, and their channels are saying VTubing is coming quite a big thing. Like 2020 is the year of VTubing, and I was kind of like, well, this is something. It's intriguing because I mean I love anime anyway. I've loved anime since I was 12 years old, and just the art style, everything like that, it just hooked me straight in when I was 12 years old. I was pretty much maybe 2 or 3 people in our high school that actually watched anime. And there wasn't a lot of content out there anyway, films wise. You had a couple of other things, like you had your Akira, you had Wicked City, you had those traditional sort of ones, but nothing that was really fan. It wasn't until I was in my sort of like 16, 17 when Evangelion even came into the equation. So, and that was epic. But yeah, when I was looking at this VTuber, I was just like, this is intriguing. But I knew that I wanted to kind of get back to the streaming because people were wanting to connect. Twitch, was kind of one of those main platforms, it felt like, really. So I did start to kind of come back and do dribs of drab of streaming. So I started streaming Final Fantasy VIII, bit of 14, and then restreamed because some people wanted me to stream the 7 remake because that came out in April time, and by this time this was around about October sort of time of 2020. But always in the back of my head, I was kind of like, it would be nice to do this VTubing thing. I said I'd never mind being on camera, but I just kind of like the whole thing where you could be something different. And as I continued during the course of 2021, I was like, I really want to give this a shot. Didn't know where to start, but then obviously when I did, you started looking at the prices. And VTubing is not cheap.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm.
And here's like, a family man, 2 kids, demanding 2 boys that like their games as well as much, and they have to do their chores to get their pay as it is. So it wasn't really till I would say I finished playing Grandia. I really wanted to have played Grandia because that was a big game of mine when I was after playing Final Fantasy VII. And so I finished that, and then I was like, right, I'll just continue. Main is going to be 14. And this is kind of like Ken's point where Mione had made Team Whiskers, and I saw it on Twitter. And I was just like, well, I've known Mione, watched his videos for ages. And I was just like, sent a tweet. I mean, most of the time you kind of think to yourself, well, they're quite a known in the 14 community and with all of their YouTube videos and that they do. I didn't expect, I'll be honest, I didn't expect anything. I was just like, it'd be great to be a part of the team. But yeah, and then Mione replied back, and he was just like, I've watched you, and you'd be a great asset to the team. I'd love it. So I was kind of like very starstruck, as you can be, and I was just like, okay. I was at work when I got the text, and I was just like, okay. I was like, cool. And then yeah, so then from that point onwards, I primarily do stream 14. It's not high-end raiding or anything at all like that. It's more for the casual, but I do like my glam, and I do like my my filtered G-pose. Emphasis not modded G-pose, just filtered G-pose.
glamour is the end game, so I mean,
it is, because then everyone just walks around with their glowy weapons, and then it says like legend at the top. So yes, there is that. Once you've done that, there's nothing else, is there? It's just like,
what a Chad with their legend.
Who's got the biggest? Who's got the biggest shiniest weapon?
Yeah.
The answer is dragoons.
Oh, dear. Yeah, but they're mainly on the floor though. The floor is glossy.
They don't deserve it.
Legend.
But no, that's
the weapon, pretty much the floor does. Yeah.
Anyway. I would say that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, I do like to play RPGs, but I would say that 14 does take a considerable amount of time to take in. I mean, since I have started streaming, the industry that I work in, I work sort of like on a 2-week rota. So it's sort of like 1 week it's these days, and then the next week it's these days, and then it goes back. And so it's a little bit frustrating, because I'd love to just have a dedicated sort of streaming pattern, but unfortunately it's a little bit of a challenge. But when I do, it's great going live, playing the game, meeting new people, and that's the reason why I enjoy just playing 14. But then obviously streaming it as well. I mean, there's so much there, and it's just great to meet new people, whether it's just helping them. Even if I'm not streaming, it's just nice to come across people that are refreshing in dungeons, that don't just kind of, you go into a dungeon, it's almost like driving a car, really. The next minute you've finished the dungeon, GG, done, you're out, sort of thing. You know, if you want to give a com, you give a com. So, but with some people, you kind of go in there and they're, they have way more energy than you suddenly think they should do at this time of day. And then, but you're enjoying it. Even if you get killed by, or you die, or wiped by just a basic boss, they're not fussed.
Yeah.
Just kind of chill, taking your time, relaxing, joking, having fun. Those are fun groups.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to, one of my goals for this year is to kind of maybe try Ultimate and try and get maybe one legend under that hat. But time will tell. There are lots of things to
then you'll have the legend over your hat.
Yeah. Maybe one shiny weapon.
Just not the Dragoon one.
Yeah, no, no, definitely not. Just give me the Gunbreaker. Anything Gunbreaker wise, I'm happy with that. I mean, I'm quite surprised actually how my journey's gone within 14 actually, because originally with A Realm Reborn, because 1.0 that was a no-go for me, because it came out on PC, and unless you had like a PC that was good enough to kind of run to see how good those pots were, that there was no point. So and they did promise it to be on the PlayStation 3.
Yep.
So it wasn't until A Realm Reborn came out that I was able to do it. So I think I went into one of my local game shop, and they had it on the PlayStation 3. I was like, brilliant. Take it home. I was like trying to understand the Mog Station. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, actually, it's not as bad. Understanding the Mog Station wasn't as bad as understanding the play online for a Final Fantasy 11. If you could do that on Final Fantasy 11, getting an account there to work, you can pretty much do anything. You could probably solve world issues actually just by doing that.
Oh, sign me up. I figured that out. I got that on lock.
So still can't figure out how to get it clear before servers go down.
That's not my fault. Our producer will admit on stream that she was like, save the content for the stream. I was like, all right.
Play online. The only good thing that was play online when you logged into it was the music. And now that I've said that, many of you will probably end up having the music run through your head.
The
you had music when you logged into something?
Yeah. The
The Play Online music.
Link that music. Yeah, the Play Online music. Yeah,
it had its own little soundtrack, and then there was this. It had its own card game. Was it Tetramaster?
Yeah, it was a Terramaster from Final Fantasy 9. So they kind of they could have done 8 at least, but no, they chose 9 because that was the best card game.
Now talk about something that would be the craziest pull ever is that they're like, oh, awesome, we have this great card game called Triple Triad. What if we like for the next whatever's coming out for the new areas or whatever wherever we're going, they're like, what if we did a new card game called Tetramaster? So it sounds like what else you gonna achieve with like you got toast already. You can't keep giving us toast. Gotta give us new toast. Different toast, French toast. I don't know. Different toast.
Different colored toast, yeah.
Yeah. No?
It makes all the difference.
I don't know if I really want red or blue toast.
Blue toast is great.
Royal blue toast, there you go.
Yeah. Nobody Google blue toast. I don't know what it's gonna give you.
I'm gonna say
just don't do that. Pull up. That's all I'm hearing, man. I mean, Alfie Toast and Ala Toast.
But I mean, the funny thing is with Play Online, that kind of transferred when I did go to 14, because when I looked at 14 in Realm Reborn, I looked at the jobs and I was like, I don't like this job, I don't like this job, I don't like this job, I don't like this job. I was just like, and the thing is though, because how the job system worked compared to 11, I was just like, but I don't want that, because in 11 you could, like for example, I was a samurai, but then your second, sub job as such would be thief. You could kind of do those sorts of things. And then as I was kind of scrolling through the website and it was showing all the jobs, monk was the first one that kind of came in, because the monk, if you can remember, the monk was a female Makote in the yellow monk AF job gear. And it just looked brilliant. I was just like, well, I've been a Mithra in Final Fantasy 11. So I was like, right, let's do this. So it pretty much took me a week to create my avatar in 14.
Right on.
As one does.
But then during the day, I would then I was thinking of a name or how it would kind of work, because it's just one of those things. I can't think that well. So I was kind of like, right, because in 11, there was a person by the name of Arjuna. They were a paladin, level 75 paladin. They taught me everything in the world of MMOs. Everything. I was like their Padawan as such. And then they stopped playing, just literally just stopped. So I never knew what happened, but then it kind of, made an impact. And I was like, right, last name. Well, I like 8, but everyone has the surname Leonhardt. It's pretty much the first names that go. Zil, no, I'm not. No. Irvine, no, he had one job and blew it.
True, very true.
And I was like, well, when I kind of looked at it, I was like, well, school had the Griever necklace and Griever and what it's kind of stood for and everything, because school was quite a lonely person as such. But he had, the heart of a lion, as they say. So then I was just like, Arjuna Griever. And I kind of had it on a piece of paper and I was just like, yeah, okay. I mean, 8's not my favorite of the Final Fantasy. Actually, 7 is my favorite. But I would still probably say that 8 has my favorite characters and has more of a personal, deeper impact, because school was 16, 17 in that game, and I was exactly the same age. And you kind of have that kind of, school was this very sort of bitter, cold, because he's been disappointed most of his life. Yep. So then for me, it was kind of like, okay, I wouldn't say I've had a terrible upbringing or anything like that, but you kind of look at things and you kind of think to yourself, well, sometimes I was quite harsh and just, I think sometimes when you're that sort of age, you kind of give up on the world sometimes because you're a 16-year-old kid. And when I played Final Fantasy 8, actually, when I did the stream, it made a much different impact on me playing it as like a 30-something-year-old man compared to a 16-year-old kid. So, but yeah, that's how it came to play, and the rebranding was interesting. Let's just say that it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be, because I did study graphic design, so I kind of in my head knew what would work and what wouldn't work. So I was just like, right, well, name-wise, Arjuna Griever, that's done. How do I do that? VTube. And it was because of the support of all of people that have, followed and subscribed to the channel, that I wouldn't have been able to have done that. Seeing this wouldn't have been able to have done without the support of them. So and I was very surprised that I was even able to get to that point. No, this didn't cost like the ones that you see online, but I'm not disappointed at all. I love it to pieces. The second I saw the drawing and the design that come up, I was just like, yeah, that's
that one. Yes.
Yeah, it must feel like, yeah, okay, I am in an anime. I'm my own. You're your own thing now.
Did you find that anybody that like maybe have missed the message come be like, who?
There has been some. I mean, there's only so many times that you can kind of put things on social media and Discord and all these other things. I mean, a part of me wanted to keep it low, but then I know that it needed to be done. So then, the next minute people look at the phones and go, who is this that's just gone live? I don't remember following them. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, it's a cat. It's a cat girl. I'm just improvising on this. It's a cat girl. Okay. But the voice sounds familiar. And then obviously the penny drops, I think, for some. So
some people were like, I'm intrigued, but also confused.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I think I was kind of worried and preoccupied that I would lose people, lose followers. It has happened. But then obviously that just goes to show that you're kind of filtering out what needs to be done and such. And that's, I guess, one of the things you've got to think of as a streamer in the content, that your viewers, are they there for you, or are they there for the game? There are numerous ways that you can think about it, really.
Right, and there's certain people that you kind of want as part of your audience, and if they're not there to kind of help, like if they're, like as you said, if they're not there for you, they're just there for some other aspect of it. It's like, well, guess you're not really part of the audience. You're not that target demographic anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I guess other people, whether or not they're new completely, they see the female avatar, they click on it and go, that's not a female voice. That's another thing. But then we are living in 2022 where people are doing different things. They're doing what they feel. I mean, I said, number of my friends said, we miss your face, but it's not about that.
Right.
So
I always thought that was the most important part. Like if somebody's leaving, they rather didn't connect with you as a person. They were just there to see the game, and then they're just off to go see someone else play it just because they want to see the game. So
yeah, I mean, I know for some people it can be quite an interesting thing because it's just like, why are you a cat girl, but then you're a guy? Just like, well, when you go to maid cafes in Japan, it does something. Yeah, that's another thing entirely.
Yeah. You're a cat girl, you're a guy. I'm like, I don't know. Why are you watching a guy play a cat girl? So
yeah. But I mean, there's numerous 14 content creators out there that are VTubers with female avatars that are men, that are male. So it's not the only one. Just need to be more known.
I saw someone the other day that was a VTuber that was a cat, but not like Khajiit, but a cat, and they were and I was like, that's great. Like, and they were just like, yeah, they were called like I think shout out T the cat, go check out T the cat. They were like, and it's interesting because it's like, all right, like you could be whatever you want, literally could be whatever you want. So
yep. So I've seen all sorts of different avatars. They're great.
I just could be a bear.
I mean, there is numerous ways of going around. I mean, even lots of people now are doing the PNG tubers. So that in the end, I think some people, when you look at someone that does use a webcam, and you look at them, they present themselves, they've got the RGB lights around them, all these, things to kind of give that, sort of atmosphere, look, these sorts of things. But then some people just like, I just want to stream, I'm just, I'm not wearing, shorts or, you haven't got makeup or anything at all like that. You just want to go live and you just want to enjoy yourself there, and you haven't got to worry about anything else. You just do it, you're there, and you just go for it, and you haven't got a care in the world.
Just real quick, just let everybody know, this is why you can only see us from the chest up, because
exactly,
nobody's wearing shorts.
I already established that I'm wearing jeans today.
So you say.
Yeah.
I can stand up. Let's stay on Twitch.
Susan says, love to see the day Maelstrom Radio goes live and it's just a bear and a beaver. Or like a
I'm sorry, I would not be a beaver, a moose, nor an otter.
I think you'd be a fox.
I have put thought into this. There we go.
The thing is, if you do it, you've got to put the anime sort of thing into it. That's the thing. If it was just a massive, giant, massive bear, then I don't know. Yeah, it'd be like Cousin It sort of thing.
No, sorry, I'm just thinking that it would be like a bear, but with like the anime boy hair,
like a swift,
like that,
the side sort of thing.
Like cloud hair,
like spiky,
but a bear with cloud hair.
I wish I had hair like that.
Just don't know about that. I want it to just be like a 90s cartoon bear. Like, can I be that? I feel like that's a possibility.
I could draw one up. You could try like a PNG tuber one.
This is just cartoon bear with like a Hawaiian shirt.
But the thing is, though, there is a lot more PNG people that are doing that, because you just want to stream one day and you don't want to use your webcam, so you just you don't feel that well, but you feel well enough to stream. You just put it on and away you go. It's still a way of people seeing an interaction instead of just nothing at all.
I think I know what Susan was linking. It's a comic called I'm Dating a Bear or something like that, where it's I could be messing up the title.
You can copy the link manually and see it. It's
there
still. But yeah, like, I can definitely understand it. Like there is this, it is almost like a stigma around like streaming without a camera or with no personality at all. Like if it's just the game and a voice, maybe, like a lot of people don't want to stay and interact with that. They don't feel that connection that you were talking before, like there's no connection with the person, but you put an avatar, you put an image, you put your like your camera, and suddenly you have that connection with the person. And I think you're right. Like it doesn't really matter if it's a physical camera, a VTuber persona, or just like that static image, or even the PNG tube piece. As long as there's something there that the viewer can kind of connect with, they feel more involved or more. It's more of a personal stream almost, right? Yeah,
it's being, within the content is just trying to make it. You're not going to be able to cater for everyone,
right?
That side of things, but it's still, you're able to show the energy and the appreciation for the people that do come.
I'm sorry, Shelly just said in chat a Loomchan PNG tuber, and that needs to become a thing now.
Here we go. This is where it happened.
They went with Loomchan and not Pilly, their corgi.
I mean, I would have gone with Jeff, but Loomchan.
Actually, Jeff would be the perfect one.
Jeff would be good, but
every time Jeff opens his mouth, squawk.
I think Moogle Go Round's gonna have a VTuber episode with some people on it.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Just saying. VTube Mortimer. That'll be your VTuber persona, Susan Mortimer.
Shoot, that's.
He'll just be jiggling the whole time.
But I mean, those people that I watched on the YouTube channel, they said 2020 was the year of VTubers. It's just continuing to grow and grow.
Yeah,
it's happening.
I think that's one of the sorry.
Well, I would say that not all places. Like, I mean, it's very big over in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's over in the eastern side of thing. It is a very big thing. Numerous Australian content creators that I watch as well that do 14. They are kind of looking at that as well. State-wise, I would say it's probably more starting to grow more and more because there are numerous well-known VTubers out there as well. I think kind of it's a bit strange. I don't know, if some people, I think sometimes like Europe is always kind of like the last to hit the trends.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I don't know whether that's just the old-fashioned ways of or just not embracing it. I guess it varies. I mean, it is very different, but that's how I kind of sometimes look at it.
I think part of that too could just be like the audience as well, right? Like even within at least all of like the English VTubers that I've seen, a lot of them are doing all very, very similar content in that it's typically RPGs, Minecraft creative pieces. It's not like you're getting the streamers that are doing like League of Legends and Call of Duty and like there's only certain like groups that seem to be adopting it more on the English side.
Yeah.
I would love
as
to see
opposed to like
Call of
Japanese
Duty,
or other places.
VTuber Call of Duty player.
And I'm sure they exist, but there's a lot more in those RPG or more creative style games, I think. And that I think could be one of those limitations of, like you said, like it started off with really huge in Eastern cultures, less so in Western, and that might be part of it.
I mean, Susan bring up the point to like protect identity in that. I think it's a big thing in Japan because many of them are kind of identity side of things. They don't want to kind of over in Japan, they are very reserved. They don't wish to kind of, it's almost like an alter ego sort of thing, really. And that's for many, it's kind of like that. And it's, gradually, because some VTubers, you never get to see what they do really look like.
That big mystery.
Western, it's a big mystery. Some of the bigger Western American ones only a very small amount. So it does vary. It does vary. I mean, I don't think it's ever been, I don't mind with the whole protective identity, but I mean, for me, streaming, when you look at many streamers, they don't really share lots of their personal ideas because it can work. It can, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or it's used as a weapon. So, there's a point where you think to yourself, you're here to entertain, but not kind of, it was almost like a therapy sort of thing where you're kind of sharing everything and stuff. And the next minute you've splurted out your account number for your bank or whatever it is. So it's a difficult thing, but I think for many, it is just a whole thing. You've got this alter ego and you like this. And since I've gone the VTube route, I do feel a lot more confident. So whether that's because you are putting, go for it.
There is something to say about not having to show your face or be the best presented, have your lighting, have your camera, have everything going in order to go and do it. Like you can just like literally, if you wanted to, hop out of bed, be in your pajamas, or less, and hop in behind your avatar.
Yeah, exactly. It does cost a lot more though to put outfits on the avatar though, compared to me just putting a t-shirt on and turning a webcam on. But still,
so when you start to learn how to draw yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's people that have specific outfits for specific games. Like they'll be like, got the new outfit for this game. I'm like, that's how much money are you dropping on it? Unless they're doing it themselves. That's the only thing I can think of is that they're
Well, some of them will have contract. I mean, some of the bigger ones. I mean, HoloLive is one of the bigger ones over in Japan. There is another one. I always keep on trying to remember the name of it. That's over in the States. But they have
stuff?
That's them, because the person that the guy that made that team of VTubers used to work at Twitch. I think he was one of the head people at Twitch as well. So you've got that experience. You've got the advertising, you've got the marketing, you've got the budget. If you want to do it, you do it. And if you see a VTube that's got the potential, it's like, right, this is what we're going to do. We'll brand, merchandise, everything's there, kind of thing. Really,
you're absolutely right. I think also part of it is is that it allows it allows people to like really focus in on like what you're saying so much, like not so much on like your face and your character, like, oh, all right, like you're like if people could start to disassociate like you as the person and just like focus more on the conversation of things.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if I walked in here and like my beard was all disheveled and stuff like that, and like I was having like a meaningful conversation, and one person would be like, "Bro, you're weird. Your beard is whacked. What is happening?" like you know, because there's gonna be that one person that rolls in and be like, "What are we talking about? Why is that guy look like crazy? What's happening?" So
could also play to your advantage sometimes.
Also true.
Valid, yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden like 3,000 people are there, just like what's going on?
It's a good conversation starter. So there you go.
This dude ate like a messy meatball sub. He's just like dried cheese in his beard.
Be like Kramer.
This is such a deep Seinfeld. All right, well,
I mean, yeah. Anyways, I'm not familiar with all of that. I just see stuff online. So let's yeah. Anyway,
you see many things online.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, and depending where you go online, you might want to see stuff you don't want to see.
Yeah.
Welcome to Maelstrom Radio.
I've always tried it. I mean, it doesn't take very long. I mean, if people have watched when me and Mione, because we've been doing a collaboration with a show called Eorzea Catwalk, where we do glam and competitions and everything. And when Mione and I start chatting, it doesn't take long until the conversation starts to go like way south on certain things. You know, where I think it's just, you know, I've said to myself, I need to kind of be a little more what's the word? Conservative and clean.
It happens.
I know. It's
just
one
happens.
of those things.
It just sort of happens. It's kind of accept it and roll with the punches. Yeah.
Keep it PG-13.
Canadian PG. Well, no, Canadian PG-13.
Canadian PG-13, yeah.
Yeah,
which is specify that specifically because it's better than the American one.
It is better. You can get away with.
You can swear.
Yeah.
Thing is, I'm not one for. Normally, I don't actually stream. I don't swear that much really when I do stream. So I think it just goes to a different subject.
I think it depends on what depending on what sort of hell I'm putting myself through is what I'm really gonna like. Like when I needed to catch up in Dark Souls, I may have said every expletive in the book trying to get past the first boss.
That's not untrue.
So, well, do you find that like, are you with how you're handling like VTubing? Do you have any changes you're going to be like doing to your character, or anything exciting that's going to be coming up in the future for your channel?
There's a combination of things. I mean, last year, I as a content creator, you're always trying to see what you can do to kind of with interacting of your viewers, or that, you know, you could almost say fans, whichever way you wish to look at. And last year I did do a charity stream. Once, if I said to myself, if I did hit 500 followers, then I would just do a 12-hour charity stream, and I was able to do that. And then adding on top of that as well, before the rebranding, I did that, but I dressed up as a maid.
I remember this.
It was fun, and obviously with certain points that were reached to the goal, you know, I shaved the beard, you know, and that was, but it was great fun. So the dress may come back this year, depending. Because some people have asked. I mean, even last year I did do a cooking stream as well. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I did a royal crown cake from a recipe reborn on her website.
Nice.
And that was good fun. Terrible at the cookie biscuit, the coffee biscuits.
Oh.
That didn't go so well because we literally just crammed all the ingredients together and then just
It doesn't work as well as in 14.
In the end, my brother and I, we just held it up and it was just a mass ball of crap.
Oh no.
I mean, the only thing that was good about it was the chocolate bits in it. That was pretty much it. But it was good fun because I had my brother there with me. So it was kind of like we just kind of worked off each other, and he would say, you know, was looking at chat and everything like that and saying, oh, such and such saying this and I don't do this and do that. I mean, it was funny because my mum even watched it, and I kept on opening the oven when it was cooking. And then my brother said to me, Mum says stop opening the cooker.
Yeah, that's a don't do that. Don't know.
So yeah, it was sort of like a Gordon Ramsay moment. So what are you? An idiot sandwich. But no, I mean, this year has been a combination. I always kind of within the channel do a sort of like a raffle.
Mm-hmm.
So last year I was able to do a raffle where it was 100 tickets, and if people subscribed to the channel, then they could choose a number out of that 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then once obviously the 100 tickets is gone, then just randomized number, and then that person won a copy of ENDWALKER.
Nice.
So it's because I'd love to, you know, people that subscribe to the channel and that, it was just a nice way of just giving something back, but within a fun way, sort of thing. So that was, you know, that was great. That was good fun. Probably look at something like that this year. I do wish to do a charity stream again, depending on that as well. I mean, my goal this year would be to, I mean, I was very surprised that I even got 500 followers. So it was a part of me saying to myself, if I'm able to hit a certain goal, then I'll look at doing another charity stream, maybe 24 hours. But I also know that it is. So, I mean, it's not often I can say stuff like that to, you know, do that, but it's seeing what I can do, what I can't do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of working out, because I know that at some point I do need to do a North American alt, because the Eorzea Catwalk show that me and I are doing, we will be aiming at looking at doing it on a North American server this time round.
Eorzea Catwalk America.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh no.
So, but I would like to at least, you know, I've got like a level 10 alt on Ether, but it would be nice to do that. So I think to myself, well, if I can do a 24-hour stream and just level that up, but do it for charity at the same time. So it's there's a number of ideas. I mean, my head is always swirling with ideas, and you just kind of have to, you know, Sunday I'll wake up at like 2:00 in the morning and be like, right, okay. And I have a notepad next to me. It's that bad. And then I'll literally quickly just write it down. Or if I have like a glam idea or a G-pose idea, then I kind of quickly write it down, because I know that if I wake up in the morning, it's gone. And there's nothing worse than you think yourself, you had a brilliant idea and it's just disappeared.
Yeah. And sometimes you write it down, you look at it in the morning, you're like, what?
Bean shake.
Yeah.
That's when you suddenly think to yourself, were you drinking the night before? That was some strong stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably $1 million idea too at the time.
It's like a way of like, alternate energy source. But then you thought of it, and then all of a sudden, no, you didn't write it down. Then the next morning, it's like, oh well. I guess we'll just live off petrol still.
Yeah. So the future of cars is beans.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Arjuna, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you for streaming and social media and otherwise?
I can. Do you want me to start, or do you want me to post the link? Oh, okay. Susan's
Susan's
great.
Susan's
on the ball. Yeah, she's on the ball here.
Yeah.
For all of our listeners.
You can find me. I said when I do stream, it is on Twitch. I do stream majority of the time during the day UK time, so it is GMT, on around about 11 till 2 in the afternoon GMT times. Odd occasion I do evenings, which is normally on like a Sunday sort of thing. So, but because of my shift patterns, it is very different. Mm-hmm. But yes, you'll find Twitch is the place where you'll see this avatar, and then Twitter is where you'll see screenshots and retweets of people's artwork that I wish would I could do.
Fair. And that's twitch.tv/Arjuna Griever, ARJUNAGRIEVER. And we'll have links in the description in the show notes, so you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, unfortunately there is no YouTube. That is one thing I'm considering, but I don't know yet.
Possible future content.
Yeah, that requires a lot of work.
Do TikToks. That's the new hotness.
That's true.
There is that. I mean, obviously, it's a cat girl with boobas, so it might work on TikTok. The algorithms might be in your favor.
Always. Always.
That's what happens when I looked at TikTok when I installed it for the first time. I was like, how did you know me already? I haven't even clicked all of the buttons yet.
Algorithm knows a lot about you.
Yeah.
Side note, never came up on my content.
Yeah.
Now you know what I watch in my spare time. There you go, people.
Yeah. We'll have you back on, and we'll dig into that a little more.
The rabbit hole can
Maelstrom
go
after dark.
Very, 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 very long.
It's dark someplace. So for us,
no source of light.
Team MR game streams Monday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. GMT. Friday, February 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. GMT. Episode 181 with Reisna, another fellow, another VTuber.
Continuing VTuber streak.
Yeah. Reisna will be here for her very first appearance in Maelstrom Radio. We've been friends with Reisna for a long time. I feel like first
almost 2 years now.
It's for 2 years now. So Reisna will be.
I met her just at the beginning of the pandemic, or just before the pandemic hit.
Before the pandemic, yeah.
Ooh,
and super excited. She's super excited.
Pre and post. There you go.
Yeah. And of course, when we reach 777 followers, there will be a Kigurumi stream. That's right. If we hit the magical 777 Team Whiskers magical number here, there will be Kigurumis.
I'll also give one hint now, since no one still knows what my Kigurumi is. It's not a fox.
Oh, there you go.
It is not fox adjacent. It is not related at all to foxes.
So we'll never know what the fox says. I know what I say. Email our show at maelstromradio.com so we can do a mailbag episode. You can ask us literally anything. We will talk to you. We will answer your questions about Final Fantasy XIV, the gaming world, or otherwise. If you have questions about love in video games, maybe we can help you with that as well.
Just don't ask what the fox says. We also do not know.
Well, there's a song that suggests we might know. So, Susan says we can try. So
we can answer. Does not mean our answers will be good nor correct, but we can answer.
Of course.
An answer is an answer in the end.
Exactly. If you're here with us on Twitch, hang tight. We're going to be reading fellow Team Whisker friend and other VTuber Deja Vu D. So
go say hi to D.
Yeah,
she's currently wandering around. I believe Ishgard.
She's going to be role playing. She's got to be role playing. It's the weekend. You got to be role playing it. It's not the weekend.
Yeah, she's out exploring Ishgard in the housing district at the moment. So,
or she's in Ishgard singing the weekend. We're going to find out. All right. As always, till sea swallows all. Keep listening.
Maelstrom Radio is brought to you by maelstromradio.com and Blackfire Media. Produced by Flatus, Shintier, and Susan Sprinkle. Join us live Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Maelstrom Radio. Send email to show@maelstromradio.com, tweet us at maelstrom_radio, or join our Discord at maelstromradio.com/discord. Views and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests do not reflect the views and opinions of any companies discussed on today's show.